day 2 of building the coil vessel, and I've unwrapped yesterday's work. It was draped in plastic overnight, and you can see the clay has begun to firm up a little bit. So it's soft leather hard, approaching leather hard, rigid enough to hold its shape, and strong enough to accept additional coils today. I came in and I extruded fresh coils from my bag, my fresh bag of clay, and I am scoring both the edge of the yesterday's work of the pot, and I am scoring the coil really well. I'm also trying to keep my coils well covered while I'm working, and then once I've scored both the coil itself and the edge of the pot, I can go ahead and dab on my nice thick slip here. I have slip that I slaked from this clay body, from bone dry clay from this clay body, and I am dabbing it on the scored areas, both the coil and the pot, being careful not to kind of mat down that scoring. Then I'm going to very carefully place that first coil of the day right on top of yesterday's work and join it really well. That first coil of the day is a bridge coil, so it's really important. It's the bridge between yesterday's work and today's work, clay that's a little bit drier and a little bit wetter. So we're relying on it to stay to bridge the gap between yesterday's work and today's work. So we're scoring and slipping it really well, attaching it really well. Here I'm using the end of the wooden knife to bring a little bit of the clay from that top coil into the base there, and you can see it is the rounded flat end of the wooden knife supporting the outside while joining the inside, supporting the inside while joining the outside. I find when I have slip, sometimes my fingers will slide around a little bit, so sometimes I'll use that dry tool to kind of grabs a little bit more clay than my thumb does. It has the same profile of my thumb anyway. I've joined that coil really well, and then I get another coil out of plastic. This is my fresh soft clay that I just extruded today, going on fresh soft clay that I just extruded today, so there's no need to slip and score here. I'm placing it very carefully. And in this case, I'm still expanding the pot, but I'm expanding it rather gradually. So I'm being careful to place the coil directly on top of the previous coil and make it really symmetrical. And then I'm going to do that gradual expansion while pinching through rather than placing the coil a little bit on the outside of the edge there. So that's how I'm approaching this gradual expansion, checking my profile carefully in the round, and then joining that second coil to the first coil, and then I'll continue building in this way until I'm done for the day. Kind of depends on how much weight you think the pot can take, how much clay. We don't want to rush it. Then we'll check it against our drawing. We'll check it against our template. We'll use our rigid rib to scrape the surface rather smoothly, keeping in mind that we'll be able to scrape it much more aggressively when it's a little drier. And then we wrap up our work session today by wrapping the piece well so that the clay, the drier and wetter clay, will equalize under plastic, but dry out a little bit between now and the next work session.